Now it's time for your melanin moment.
What's going on, everybody? Today is Friday. It is time for your melanin moment. Going into the weekend, hope you guys had an amazing week. I know that I was supposed to bring you guys a couple of more melanin moments, and I have got one for y'all. But I can't share it just yet. I talked to my aunt about it, prayed about it. My aunt spoke a word into my life last year. Matter of fact, it was earlier this year. And God blew my mind. A lot of times when we ask God for stuff, we want to see it right there, but God afforded me the opportunity to see the blessing before it gets here. And I thank God for allowing me to see the blessing before it gets here. And I want to share that with y'all, but I ain't going to share it with y'all just yet. Today I want to talk about it is okay to forgive them, child. Now I'm going to give y'all my forgiveness story, one of them. Hope it blesses somebody the way that Let It Go bless somebody. So I always talk about being a single mother at 22 years old. Now to me, that is too young to be having kids, especially when you're not established and you live in paycheck to paycheck. I don't care what nobody say about when you're 18, you grown. If you cannot take care of yourself effectively, if you cannot take care of yourself and be comfortable and not have to worry about how you gonna rob Peter to pay Paul, you are too young for children and any other adult responsibility until you are well equipped to handle them, okay? But I was too young to be having kids. I was not in a relationship, I was in a situationship. It was a situation where I was messing around and got pregnant. Now, after I found out I was pregnant and I told Sanaya's father about it, I was sold wolf tickets about, oh, my child ain't gonna have to worry about nothing. This gonna happen, that gonna happen. But when she got here, it was a totally different story. We all, as baby mamas, have had those types of stories where you see him, he living a type of way, and you scrapping and you scraping, and you trying to figure out why it is I got to call you 17,000 times to come do for your child, but you out here living your entire best life, and I have to do or go without because this child needs. And so for that, I began to develop a despise. Despise looking at him. Despise the thought of him. Despise everything about him because what you told me is not what you're doing. So it all came to a head when I moved here after I got married. And your then girlfriend decided that she wanted to inbox me and tell me how she felt about me moving my child that I've been taking care of, minus your help, or the little of. And she wanted to really get it off her chest. Honey, I wasn't saved, okay? I knew who Jesus was. I knew Jesus despised the language that I was using. But honey, I let her have it. Because what you're not going to do is tell me about a child that you wasn't in the room helping conceive. That's what we're not going to do. So I let her have it. Now, I don't know what the conversation was when she decided she wanted to tell him what she did or what made him think that he was going to call me and try to check me. But honey, when he called me, I gave him the exact same words and told him I will drop you off where I dropped her off at. And that's out of my business because I have let you skate and scammer around taking care of your child. I've accepted the excuses, but no more. If you don't want to do what you're supposed to do, then skate on out of my child life and don't worry about it no more. When I tell y'all that man said, all right, F you and her. Wait a minute. Did you just say F your child? Now you can talk about me all you want, but what you're not going to do is say something that derogatory about a child that you helped create and said that you were going to help take care of. And now that I done gave you a piece of my mind, now you don't like it, so you really going to tell me how you feel. That was July 4th, 2010. We have not seen or talked to this man to this day. Now, there have been a couple of things that have happened to where it was third party that he did for Sanaya, but my thing is, why do you need to be third party when you were first hand, when you were helping create her? So for a long time, I hated him. Now, I know our grandma said you don't never use the word hate, but honey, I hated him. I didn't care if he lived or died. Did not care. And I'm telling y'all my truth. Didn't care. But as I began to watch Naya grow and see some things that I know she only could have gotten from her father, God began to deal with me because Naya needs to understand exactly where she came from. She needs to understand why she does certain things that she does. And that I can't hate him so much that I'm now hating a part of my daughter because she's doing some of the things that genetically are inside of her. So no, I can't just hate him. Because when I hate him, I'm also hating a part of my child. And I know a lot of times we don't even look at it like that. Because that's my baby. And yes, Sanaya does look exactly like me. When we go out in the store, people think we sisters, and no, that is my child. But I can't hate, because who is going to enter into the kingdom of heaven hating anybody? So I began to ask God to forgive me. Because, honey, I ain't mad at nobody but the devil. And I also had to realize that God has been taking care of me this long without parents since the age of 7. So if he took care of me, why wouldn't he take care of Sanaya? Why wouldn't he give me what's necessary to lead and guide her? Why wouldn't I trust him and know that he is going to place somebody in her life, which he did, to be the father figure that she needs? So I had to come up off that hate, but first of all, I had to ask God to forgive me because I know that wasn't right. And the second part is I had to forgive him. A lot of times we want to hold people to standards that we don't even know if they're ready for. Just because a person has kids does not mean that they're ready to be a parent. And so I had to forgive him. Now, we have not spoken like I said, but I don't know what he think he gonna get out of me. I don't know. But if it ain't the love of God, I don't have it for him. Because every single time I've done something wrong that I knew was wrong, God still extended his grace and mercy. Every time I've asked God to forgive me, he's done so. So who am I to harbor feelings for somebody and hate somebody when God didn't do that for me? Now, I'm praying that the situation gets better, because Naya needs to know exactly where she comes from. She needs to know her siblings. She needs to know who her father is as a person. She needs to know why she does certain things. And she's going to grow from this situation. But it's all right to forgive people just because they do us wrong. Because like my mom told me a few weeks ago, you really ain't let nothing go until you forgive. And so I hope and pray that that blesses somebody today. Stop holding on to that mess you holding on to. Just because they did you, however they did you. You first got to forgive before you can let it go. Because see, when you really forgive, you done threw it away. You don't even want to think about it no more. You don't want to see it no more. When you see that person, you don't even see the situation anymore, because you have forgiven and let it go. And only when you forgive can God begin to do that work in you that he needs to do. So like I said, I pray and hope that blesses somebody. Please be safe out here in these Copenhagen streets. If you in Maryland, please be safe in these streets, period. Like I said, we ain't got time for no accidents. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Do what's necessary to keep yourself safe. Pray for me as I'm praying for you, and I'll see you guys soon for another Melanin Moment.